Oh, good night, everyone. Welcome to What You Think. Wait, why this thing is here? Hold on. Hello, everyone. How you doing today? How you guys doing tonight? All right, guys. Thank you guys for being here tonight. All right, so the topic is spending for basically spending for what you call for basically for people to compliment you. Some people live in that form, and some people understand that that form, they don't want a part of it. Sometimes the thing about it is, let's say for instance, you're trying to buy a home or a house. Whatever house it is, you're trying to buy it, right? But you have the money to buy, you have the money to buy the house, to buy a house. It might be the most beautiful house, but at the same time, you have a house, you have the money that you can buy the house. And because of you looking for compliments, you decide because you're looking for your friends and your family to give you compliments. So what you do, you say, all right, you know what? I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to borrow some money. I'm going to borrow some money to buy a bigger house than the one I could afford. Right? Hey, Life from Scratch, how you doing? Thank you for being here. So now we you go now, you have the money that you can buy a house. It mightn't be the most perfect house, but it's a house. But just because you want compliment, you or your friends say, oh yes, you have a beautiful house. You decide to go to the bank. And by going to the bank now, no, you have a mortgage. No, you have money you got to pay back for 30 years. 30 years. No. Is it worth it? Or should you just go and buy the house that you could afford and live in peaceful, normal life? Or should you go to the bank, borrow the loan, and got to work hard every day to pay back this loan when you could have buy your house with the money that you have? But the thing about it is, sometimes we want to impress people. And we want to hear people complimenting us. Oh, you did so well. Oh, your house looking good. But guess what? They're going to only compliment you for 2, 3 times. And then guess what? You have to live with that for 30 years. And it's not just about house. It could be cars. It could be a pair of shoes. It can be a pair of pants. You know what I'm saying? So is it what? Spending for compliment? Is it worth that? Or buy what you could afford and then you could always add to, you see what I'm saying? What works for you? Hey, Life from Scratch, how you doing? Thank you for being here. I'm going to drop the link. So if you feel like coming up and let's talk about this, let's do it. All right? All right. Yes, yes, yes. This is a very interesting topic. This is a very interesting topic. This is very, and you know, there's a lot of people who actually struggling with this situation today. Plenty people struggling with this situation today because of people telling them they want to hear. They want to hear. If they ain't hear it from someone, they ain't feel right. So they want to hear, oh, yes, you buy a nice car, I love the car. You buy a nice house, I love the house. You buy a nice shoes because it can be in many different ways. You buy a nice shoe, they love the shoe. But guess what? If you borrow the money, no, you got to work to pay back this money when you could have just buy something that you could afford. And then you buy what you could afford until you could afford what you want. What you guys think about this? What you guys think about this? I think for me, I know everyone have their own opinion, but for me, I see it as buy what you could afford until you could buy what you want or what you need. All right? Because if I can buy a house for cash and I can live in the house and I can afford to buy it for cash, that's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to invest or impress people because and looking for compliment. Oh, you understand from people, and then you got to live 20 years, 10 years before you could make this payment. And I mean, I think this is a real serious topic. Hey, welcome. Welcome, Live from Scratch. How you doing? Thank you for being here. What's going on?
Good night, Planter. Good night.
Good to have you. Good to
I
have
find
you.
your topic very intriguing tonight.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Thank you.
I think a couple years ago, I remember um wanting to buy a car, and I thought about buying a new car or buying a used car, and I remember start comparing about it.
Okay.
How much this new car is gonna cost, how much this used car is gonna cost, how long is the payment on the new car versus accumulating the money and buying a used car
Right.
and then be debt free. So
Sorry for that. Go ahead.
I thought about it for a long time and I came to the conclusion, you know what? I'm gonna buy a used car. Forget about the loan, and like you said, have a peace of mind. At the end of the day, you don't owe anybody. You don't have to think about your car payment, if you can make it that month or not, you know. And that really made me think if that's the way I wanted was to go. And that was my conclusion. Buying a used car versus a new car. I only have to think about if something goes wrong with it, you have to fix it. So you don't have a car loan, but if you had a car loan, you would have had to pay the car loan plus still find the money to fix your car. And then a friend of mine came and they bought a new car. They recently had their car repossessed and turned around and bought a new car. And I'm saying to myself, they're not thinking. You just had a car repossessed a few months ago, and now you want to buy a brand new car again. Why did your car get repossessed in the first place? Because you couldn't make the payment on time, you were too far behind, and they came and they took their product back. And you want to go out again and buy a new car instead of a used car, and you don't have to deal with that situation again. And they were like, well, I don't want to be driving no old car. And I don't want nobody be telling me, oh, my old car, you can't afford a new car. So they rather hear somebody say, oh, I like your new car. Look how pretty it is. And you update with your car. You brought the current year and all that stuff. But like you said, a month or two later, ain't nobody telling you about your new car and how new it is and how fancy it is. But you still got all these years to pay for this 1 week of compliments. So, it's really made me think when you brought that topic up. It took me back to that place. So I really had to pop in and tell you, good topic tonight. Good topic. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much because the truth is a lot. Well, speak for say the same thing. Someone went through it, and even though they now lose their car, they get they still went back and going through the same process again. Why? And why? Because they're looking for compliment. They don't want people to say they're driving an old car. You see, but if you drive in an old car, that's yours. It's yours. Many people drive in new cars, but it's not theirs. If they could lose that car anytime, you see, once they cannot make their payment, and these car payment could last 5 years, it's the same thing with a house. You have the
Yeah.
cash money to buy a house, but you want people to compliment you. It didn't look good enough. It didn't, and you decide to go and borrow some money and fix the house. No, you owe the bank. You got to pay the interest. You got to pay. You putting yourself in real big situation that you don't need to be in. So it is a real good topic because people actually dealing with this situation today.
Yeah. It's a reality, especially with what's happening with our economy at this time. We see inflation, and you have to sit down and wonder where can you turn to cut something off that you could lower your bills.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, so sometimes, you know, we have to think, do we really rather the compliments or do you rather the peace of mind? What are you really willing to sacrifice? A peace of mind? And then every night you have to go to bed and think, boy, I got to go to work tomorrow because I have my car payment, I have my insurance, I have to pay off for this phone, I have to pay off for this watch. You know, I'm not hearing you.
I mean, it's really sad because People actually live in these life, and I could imagine how miserable these life can be. That you just living to hear what people got to say. You
Mm-hmm.
just to hear what people got to say for a moment, and then after that you start struggling. No, you add another bill to your collection of bill that you could avoid. And the thing about it is not just borrowing the loan. The loan come with interest, and sometimes these interests could take years to pay off before you could actually start paying the loan itself. So,
Exactly.
so why put yourself in this position? I don't know. I think it's a mental situation, because you understand what I'm saying? I just feel
Yes.
like it's a mental situation that a lot of people have, and the mental situation is in different form, all different form, where you could actually live from people complimenting you. And if you understand, and you will go to the extreme just to get compliment, even though it make you have to live a miserable life fighting to make these payments. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's a tough spot to be in, where you really have to be struggling over these things. But I also think that sometimes we really don't take the time out to sit and look at the bigger picture. We just know we want the thing, or we think we should have the thing, but we're not thinking about how long it's going to take us to pay off this thing. And you say to yourself, oh, it's okay because I want what I want now, and worry about the consequences tomorrow.
Makes sense. That's true. Yep.
So we just have to really take some time and think about the whole situation. I understand certain things we really do have to take credit in order to have these things, but there is a lot of things that we can avoid putting on credit.
Because yes, don't get me wrong. If a person need a house and they don't have the funds to get the house and they got to go and do credit, that's fine. You got to do what you got to do. You see what I'm saying? It's like references I'm drawing. I'm just saying,
Hmm.
there's
Right.
people, we speaking of our references. So because, but there's people who actually have the money that they could buy a house, right? But the
Yeah.
house mightn't be how the lightness of, the outside mightn't look the way they want it to look. And they decide, you know what? I'm gonna just go and, you know, borrow money from the bank and just buy a house, right?
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, as you say, they're not looking into the part where there could be the bank, and if you can't pay the bank, they coming back and take that. And if you did take the money and buy it, you could have keep working on it and fix it. At the end of the day, this is yours. You ain't gotta wait 20 to 30 years to make a payment, to make payment. And if you
Right.
miss the payment, you lose it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, it, to me,
Yes.
it makes sense that I buy the old house, the house that I can afford, and keep fixing it until I get it where I want it, than to get myself tied
Yes.
up.
I think sometimes we think that it's hard to do because it's like You have to pay rent in the meantime and try to accumulate this money to buy this house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're looking like, boy, that's like 5 years away. That's going to take me 10 years to raise that money to be able to at least buy a house that is livable. It could be 100,000. It could be, little over 100,000. How much of a house am I going to get for that? But also, you have to think about how much peace of mind am I going to get with that?
Right. Right.
Because the house could be livable. It has roof, windows, doors. The main things are working, water, light, all those things are functionable. And it's like buying a used car. And when you turn around, you take your time and you fix as you go. But you don't have this big bill sitting over your head.
right.
And this is one of the things that I think is killing a lot of us now. I mean, look at what rent costs. Rent has gone up so much now. It's way big it's like paying two mortgages for one rent.
Yep. Yep. It's
So
true.
these are things we have to think about when we could have bought maybe an apartment, a condo or something years ago, and it would have cost us less than what we are paying for rent at this time.
Right. Right.
So we really have to stop and think about it. We could start simple,
Yeah,
you
that's what
know.
I'm saying. Because I see people refuse house that the house was livable. The house was livable, right? You could have
Okay.
lived in the house had water, the house had electricity, the house had everything. But it was the outside need some repairing. It need like painting, and then the bathroom them they walkable, but they could have remodel. You see what I'm saying? You could have used them, clean them up, and use them, and then you could
Okay.
have always fix a bathroom, from time to time, until you get it where you want it. But
Right.
I see people refuse that and then go and borrow the money and end up lose the house that they borrowed the money. So they lose their down payment they had that could have purchased a house cash. They lose that and they lose all the payment they made towards this other house. Now they're back to square one. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes. And
some
now who is going to tell you, oh, look how nice you look living outside on the street?
right,
Nobody.
exactly. Now you back to square one. So
Yeah.
my thing is, if you doing this just to get compliments, you see what I'm saying? If you
Yeah.
doing this just to get compliments, I don't think it's a good idea. If you're doing it for you, if it's for you, then it's a whole different ballgame. But doing it for family or friends to tell you, oh, you have a nice car or oh, you have a nice house, I don't think that's the right move to me.
Yeah.
You do it because you want to do it, not to please anyone or for compliments. And I think that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a lot of food for thought. It's a lot of food for thought.
Yes.
We can really sit down and figure we can start small. We can
Yeah.
start small. Try and eliminate bills. Small bills. You may have a little medical bill, a couple 200, 300, and that's sitting on your credit unnecessarily. You can try paying off that. You can try cutting back on your water usage, cut back some of your cable usage, that you could lower your bills. And you consider, okay, now I'm saving $100 less in bills. You could take that same $100 and put it aside and say, okay, I'm not eating out this week for lunch. That may save you $50. So now you have $150 in savings that month. And you could start building yourself from there, where you have this small amount and it's growing. Next month, you might be able to save $200 off of your expenses. And you say, boy, imagine I finished paying off this card and I had it lingering this whole time, just making minimum payment. And you decided you're going to pay off the amount. And it was probably a $300. And you like the idea of just paying $10 a month on it. And you have all this interest building on it. $10 a month you're paying, and when you turn around, the interest on it is $8. So
Right.
you've really only paid $2.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's going to take you 5 years to pay off this 300, where you could make that little sacrifice, taking lunch to work for that week and take that $50 and pay off that. By the end of the month, you already paid off the $300.
That is true. But see, a lot of people, you see, these information don't fly around. You know what I'm saying? People don't
Yeah.
really give you this information where, you know, all they tell you, oh, your minimum payment is $10. But they're not telling you, okay, this out of this $10, only eight going to interest, and the other two going to payment. They're not telling
Right.
you. So you know,
No, and we're not looking either. We're
right,
not even looking at the bill. We just know, okay, they said the payment gonna be $10 a month. But we're not looking to see where that $10 is spread out on that bill.
right. You just making that payment, but you're not conscious, man. Is only $2 going to this payment every month, and the rest
Yeah.
is interest. So it's like, as you say, 3 years you take to pay off $300. Do you know how much money you paid by doing that? So sometimes sacrifices, making a few sacrifices, honestly, sometimes could help you. And how you can really walk out and see where you spending, where you may be spending a little too much, is get a book and write down how much you spend every day and what you spend it on. And by doing that, that can help you to budget and cut back. Because if you're buying coffee every day, maybe you could say, you know what? I'm not buying no coffee this week. I'm gonna buy a coffee and I'm gonna buy milk and I'm gonna make my milk every day. That could help you save. Even your lunch that you go and spend 10, 12, $15 span every day. Maybe you could make your own lunch and walk with it. All these things can help you cut it down,
Yep.
able to make, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things, it's a wide range of, we can touch, but you know what I mean, is so much, it's wide. So we just
Yes.
touching a small portion tonight.
And just right. And just to think, Planter, that at the end of the day, stop and say to yourself, how many people said to me, oh, that's nice. You bringing your lunch to work. Oh, you bringing your own coffee to work. You know,
Yep, yep.
they're not going to big you up. They're going to be like, girl, you can't hang with us this week because you're not going Starbucks.
Right.
You're going to sit here and have your coffee.
Exactly.
You see? That's a different style to the compliments.
Yep.
So which part of it do you rather? You want to pay to be in the complimentary club, or you want to pay to be in the Progress Me club?
That's it, right? It's a decision that everyone have to make. A
Yeah.
decision. It's a decision that everyone have to make. And don't forget, guys, we're not here to make anyone feel uncomfortable. We're just having a dialogue of ways where people have serious situation going on, where They got to be complimented in anything they do to feel good. And you know what I mean? And at the same time, it causing you. You understand? It putting you in situation that you don't want to be in. So it's something to think about.
It's very strange.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Because when you see, and sometimes where this does come from too. This is what, you know what? I remember, I hear a person say one time, there was a young person, and you know what they say? They say in the school, they hang with the people, because their mother is very strict, right?
Uh-huh.
And you know who they hang with? They hang with the people that have strict mothers. When I hear that kid say that, I say, my goodness, that's a smart child. You know why they hang with people who have strict parents like them? Do you know why?
No.
Here why? Because they ain't got to worry about people telling them, oh, you can't go out. Oh, you can't, we're going to the party tonight, but you can't go. You see what I'm saying? So they're hanging with the strict people, the people who have strict parents. So they ain't got to worry about that kind of conversation. You see what I'm
Got
saying?
you. Yes,
I'm
got
over
you.
here with the people who cannot go to the party, who cannot go nowhere after school, who got to go head right home after school. So they eliminate. To hear that
That
from a child,
problem.
oh my goodness, that was
See
brilliant.
that? Yes.
That was brilliant to hear that from a child. They hang with
Exactly.
the people who have strict parents like them. And that's what we as grown-up need to do. Hang with the people that you don't have to worry about telling you about your car old and you can't hang with us. Then you got to get you got to go now, go face the a loan company to
Yes.
borrow money to buy a car to fit in, and then you struggling to make that payment. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
They're not gonna help you. They are not going to help you.
Exactly.
They'll tell you plain up. You choose it. You choose the car.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So to hear a
So
child say something like that, that was brilliant.
yes.
That was brilliant. I'm telling you. That was a child enough, not a grown up, a child in school.
Yeah.
I only hang.
That's a child that's thinking, you know?
You know what? Yes, I only hang with people that have strict parents like mine. So I ain't got to worry about these extra wards and you can't go anywhere because they can't go nowhere either. You understand? So you're not going
Yes.
to be hearing that. So
You're
this
not
is
gonna hear it. Where are we
right.
going this weekend? Are you gonna come out with us this weekend?
Right. So sometimes I guess you just got to fit on the lane you fit in and stop trying to fit in other lane that make you put you in uncomfortable spot or
Yeah.
uncomfortable situation.
You gotta ask yourself, are you willing to take that sacrifice of a compliment or take that sacrifice to have a peace of mind?
Yep.
Because they both take sacrifices. One
Uh,
is discipline and one is a crowd pleaser.
yep. So which one? Which
Yeah.
one do you choose? Do you
I
choose?
think I rather the peace of mind any day.
I think I would rather the peace of mind any day as well. Because at the end of the day, you know you can sleep. Like for instance, you hanging with your buddies them or your friends them. You the only one have a old car. Your little brother, but you know what I'm saying? You don't. Everybody else have brand new car, but everybody else have a payment. You the only one don't have a payment, and guess what? You make them make you feel like you out of their class, which they is not in
Exactly.
your class. They is not in your class because you don't have a payment. This is your car. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you make them make you feel like, oh, you can't hang with us because you ain't have a new car. You should be saying, well, you can't hang with me because you owing for that car, that in your car. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so
You
sometimes
could go home smiling. After we already hang out, you could go home smiling because you could say, boy, I got no payment. I cool. I good.
that's it. But we allow people because we want to hear the compliments and we
Yes.
wanna hear. So now, by they get up in our head now. Monday morning, we down by the bank. You see what I'm saying? We down
Yeah.
by the bank now, trying to get a new car, adding a new bill, more pressure on ourselves, and you have a car walking pretty fine. So I guess sometimes you just got to find people, good people with old car like you, and hang with them. So you wouldn't have to hear about
Yes. Like the kid said, yes.
the.
Find where you fit in.
That's it. Find a good place to fit in. People who like-minded like you. So you wouldn't be in comfortable position and you wouldn't have
Right.
to do too much compromising because you all have all cars. You all have all house. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Don't try to put yourself with the people who have the brand new big because they're gonna be looking down at you, even though you ain't have a mortgage or you ain't owe anybody. They should be looking at you and say, "Boy, I'm proud of you." You see how it turn?
You know, these are good conversations that we can have with our children because sometimes they'll come to us and they'll say, "Oh, mom, I want a new shoes. There's a new shoe or there's a new jacket or something that's out that they want to have." And we just get with the mindset with what they come with. We want our kids to be with the Jones. So we're going to say, how much is that jacket or whatever it is? Oh, about $200. What are you willing to do for this $200? Now we have to demonstrate the same progress process with our children. You want a jacket for $200. How are you going to buy this jacket? You know, I could be the bank. I could lend you the 200. You got to tell me how you are going to pay me back this $200 if I loan you this 200. We have to stop giving these children things for free and we figure that we're setting them up for the good life. We are not. We are not. We are setting up our children for failures because this is the same thing. Oh, they could just go to the bank and get a loan and go buy this stuff to impress their friends. And then when school finish, they ain't got no problem. Is mommy paying that bill, daddy paying that bill? And they don't have no worries as how to pay back that money. What did you do to earn that jacket or that shoe? What did you do? So I think we have to learn these things and demonstrate some of these things with our children when they come to us and say, oh, they want this or they want that. I think this is something we have to try and do.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because at the end of the day, you preparing them for the outer wall. Because when is, and a lot of kids, a lot of children, we really don't prepare our children. And that's the honest truth. We just grow them up accordingly and never prepare them. So now when them hit the wall now, they believe, oh, there is just like how you brought them up. And that's not true because it's really tough out there. And
It
when we
is.
sugarcoat life for them, they grow up believe out there people are gonna be sugarcoating life for them, which out there is a dog eat dog wall that people is actually not gonna be sorrying for you. People is not gonna be caring for you. So sometimes parents got to be show them kids a little tough love. Not to say they hate, not to say love them, but you got to
No,
show them a little tough love because when they grow up and get out there, it's tough love. It's dog for eat dog, and it's tough love out there.
yeah, because the creditors don't care about you. They just know they want their money that they put out. You can't find it. You're gonna have to give me back my product.
And
And the kids now are left to say, but I bought it, you know? No, you didn't buy it. You credit it.
right,
You credit it. So these are the things we have to let them understand. These things don't come like that. There's a sacrifice involved. And are you willing to take that sacrifice? You know?
yes, that's true. That's true. Because listen me, and you see, with these type of topic, it's so needed. These things should be taught to young people, young children, even older people. You
Yeah.
understand, who have these understanding of sacrifice, and because nothing come without sacrifice. If you want good success, you got to sacrifice a lot of stuff. Meaning, you got to do the necessary. Work hard, save your money. Some people really sacrifice. Some people do not go to work without their lunch. They don't care what nobody say. They will go in a corner, sit down, and eat their lunch while everybody
Because,
eating.
well, you know what? Sometimes because that person have learned the difference between taking your own lunch and buying lunch, the money you can save this way. You see?
Yes, you can actually save a lot of money buying your own lunch.
So
And that's
this is the
great.
thing we have to teach. We have to put it out there. Stop and think. Stop and think. You want
Because
to buy something, what are you willing to give up to buy this thing? And sometimes, if we really stop to think about it, we don't want the thing. We just tell ourselves we want it
right,
because it's not a need, it's just a complimentary thing. So, you want the compliment or you want the freedom of, I don't have to deal with the sacrifice for that thing.
right, exactly, exactly, exactly. And a lot of people as well, sometimes, we see stuff on sale. We don't want it, we don't need it, but just because we see sale, we run out there. You check what I'm saying?
Power
And
of
we
the
buy,
words, yeah.
and then we just buy it and put it down for dust to take control of it. We don't want it. We don't want it. We don't need it. But just because we hear sale, let's go. And you know what? Sometimes these sale ain't even sale.
No.
Sometimes it's a few dollars off, but because you hear sale, you run out there. Not even conscious of, man, this thing ain't really no sale. This ain't really no sale. This is just a few dollars off.
Yeah,
Oh,
but sometimes I
mm,
remembered one time I think something I was saying to one of my kids and they wanted something and they said, "Oh mom, but it's on sale. How much is the discount on it?" 10%. I said, "How much is the sale tax?" 7%. So think about it.
it's
You're
the
gonna
fact.
get $10 off of this thing, but you're not really getting $10 because $7 gone back to the tax. So
Yep.
you're only getting $3 off of this thing that you tell yourself, oh, it's on sale. The tax got to be added back. Whatever is left is the discount you get. Always look at the sales price that way.
Yes.
20% off. But how much ever is your sale tax, minus it from that percentage off. And you get your true percentage at that point.
Right.
You see? So we have to show them, don't bother with what you see. Pick it apart. Pick the thing apart. Because they're gonna tell you, like, you go buy a car, oh, it's $20,000. And you're getting it at 20% interest on that car. Now, $20,000, you ask yourself, how long would it take me to save $20,000? Uh, maybe 2 years? Now, this $20,000 credit that you're gonna take is gonna take you 7 years to pay it back. And you could have only taken 2 years and saved that money yourself versus 7 years, 5 more years. You are willing to sacrifice 5 more years of work time. You see that? For this $20,000 that you could have worked as you normally do and put that money aside. These are the ways we have to pick these things apart, because you always have to remember, if you're paying a mortgage, you're paying a loan, whatever it is, you're paying back a debt, it has interest on it, that accrues to time for
Yep.
these goods. You are saying to that lender, oh yeah, give it to me and I promise you I'll work 15 years and pay you back. You promise this person time. You don't consider you're going to get sick one of those days. You know what I'm saying? You may lose your job during that time. You didn't make a bargain for that. You said, yes, I will work and pay it back. That is time. You are trading time for goods. Is it worth your time? Think about it.
Hey, Fifi Johnny, how you doing? Thank you for being there. What's going on? Oh, you didn't? Oh, wow. Oh, you didn't get no notification? Oh, wow. I think, wow. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. Wow. Yes. So, what you said, make a lot of sense, right? What you say make a lot of sense. It makes sense to, okay, that's good. It makes sense to really sit down and analyze things before just rushing into it. Look into it and see, yeah, look into it and see what you can, what makes sense.
Yeah,
Because,
because it's hard.
yes, and then sometimes, because we getting ourselves in this situation, And sometimes we can't get out of them because we already in them. And the only way to get out of them is finish making the payment, or if you don't make the payment, you lose what
You lose everything.
you see what I'm saying? So it's a real tough situation where where we really put ourselves in some position that we don't even need to, but just because sometimes the people we hang with, you understand? We
Yeah.
need compliments. We got, oh yeah, you have a beautiful house. Oh man, your car looking nice. I love those rims. You have a beautiful rim on your car, but you making payment on these rims.
Huh.
You
Or
see
you
what I'm
know how
saying?
much overtime you did to buy those rims.
That's what I'm saying. And you could have drive your little car that's working perfect for you. You didn't have to
Right.
change no rim. You could have drive the little rims them you driving. But guess what? No, we want to keep up with our friends because our friends have a new car. And then we want to hear our family and friends saying, man, you have a nice car. Your rims them looking beautiful. You understand? But no, you gotta be killing yourself to pay
For
anything.
that one compliment.
Right. And after that, after you don't get the compliment, they ain't studying you again. I know you stuck.
Yep.
You know, you stuck with these huge loan that lasts you 15, 20, 30 years to pay it off just because you're looking for compliments from other people. That
Yep.
is crazy. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Destiny Otis, how you doing?
Hi, Fifi.
Oh, thank you, Fifi, for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. The key word. Yes. Thank you for that. Yes. So spending for compliments or spending for freedom, which one works for you? I personally believe in spending and feeling no strain on my back. I believe in buying what you could afford until you could get what you want. Than
Yes. Nice.
taking myself where I don't need to be with these heavy loans on my back. Then I got to be struggling to make these payments to keep them, to keep what I'm keeping. No, I don't want to live like that. And I'm not spending for my neighbor to tell me, oh, oh man, you have a beautiful car, you have a beautiful house. I'm not doing that because I see. I was working for some people one time, and the neighbors, they have the man and the woman now buy two brand new cars. They one by a Benz, one by a Jaguar. And right, and exactly. One by a Benz and one by a Jaguar. Right? The neighbors saw that. Well, the lady saw that. And the lady bugging the man out. They want new car. Let's buy new cars too. And the man was saying, no, we cannot afford it. But the lady wasn't trying to hear that. And they end up and they had two cars that walking. They end up and they go and buy two cars, two new cars, trying to keep up with the neighbors, even though they know they can't afford it. That's an uncomfortable situation. And like Fifi say, and can't sleep at night. You said it right. You said it right. And can't sleep at night. So to me, the message I will give tonight, Live to your means, according to your means. Like the old people say, don't hang your hat where your hand cannot reach. You see what I'm saying? Don't hang your hat where your hand cannot reach, because it's not a good situation. Do things that make you comfortable. Do things that you could deal with and you could handle. Don't put yourself in this situation because you're trying to keep up with the Jones. You see what I'm saying? Live according to your means and what you could afford. Don't worry. Like I now mentioned, a little kid told me one day, I only hang with people who have strict parents. Why? Because their parents is strict as well. They do not hang with the other people who don't have strict parents. So they don't have to hear about, oh, you cannot go out. Oh, we're going clubbing this weekend and you cannot go. They're hanging with the people who cannot go to the club. So they ain't got to hear that. And that's very smart to hear from a child. So if you have an old car and your buddy and them have new car, and you find they oh, your car is old. Well, maybe you need to go and hang with people who have an old car like you. Don't make that get to your head. And then Monday morning, you reach down to the bank looking to get a new car to compete with them for you to get compliments. No, because that could make you don't sleep at night. If your old car is doing pretty good, don't worry about it. You drive your old car. Guess what? Your old car belongs to you. You see? That's my opinion, guys. Everybody have their own opinion. Laugh out there. Yeah. We all like to go back to where we grew up from with more and look as if we have everything going on. I don't know why. Okay. Yep. We all like. All we got to do, life from scratch. You dare life from scratch? Okay. Anyhow, this conversation was, it's a real interesting topic. Very interesting topic. And we all should definitely look into things. Like I said, I'm not here to tell anyone what to do and how to live their life. That's not what we're doing. We're just basically having a conversation about the freedom and sacrifice. All right? Living, spending, just to for people to give you compliments and tell you how this nice, and but at the same time you have huge responsibility to maintain, to keep this thing, when you could have just buy something that you could afford and feel comfortable within yourself, but you refuse that freedom and looking for compliments from other people and put you into situation that you never want to be into at the same time. Oh, you getting an echo? Okay, all right, okay. Okay, so let me remove that. Right. All right, you back? Yes. So that's my opinion, guys. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. We're just having a dialogue about how we see things operate and how we see things work and how we could avoid a lot of these things. Instead of we just sit back and make people get to our head, instead of we focus on being ourselves and do what make us comfortable and not try to make others come. You know what I'm saying? Not try to make others comfortable, because we cannot make no one comfortable. We only can make ourselves comfortable. So all I'm saying is, try and be yourself. Nothing is better than being yourself. Trying to be someone else, it ain't gonna work. Be yourself. All right? Spending for compliments is not a good, to me, is not a good idea. Spending to make yourself happy, that you spending because it's something you need, not for compliments, because you only gonna get compliments. You're only gonna get compliments for a short period of time, and at the end of the day, you have to stuck with that bill for 20 years or 15 years or 10 years, however. So do it because you feel you can do it, or it's something you could afford, not for compliments. It's simple. Make do what you have. That's it. That's it. It's simple. Especially if you don't. That's it. That's it right. If you don't need it, don't spend it. I agree with that, Fifi. I agree with that. You know, this is why they always say, do not, I grew up where I'm hearing spend, hang with people who don't try to go up there and try to keep up with people and their lifestyle. Maybe it's just not for you, or maybe you cannot afford it. Stay where you could afford and save at the same time. Stay where you can afford and save at the same time. Saving come with sacrifice. Saving come with sacrifice. Freedom come with sacrifice. It mightn't be exactly what you want at the moment, but once it can work at the moment, you deal with it until you can afford what you want or what you need. This is what a lot of society is putting out. Yep, that's true. Yes, guys, so this conversation, it's a very interesting conversation. Very, very interesting conversation. And I think I want to pick up this conversation again. I think I'm going to start doing more live on this channel about this type of conversation, because these type of conversation need to be heard, because a lot of people growing up today really don't understand a lot of things, because we actually could live better. We could live better life than what we live in. But because we've been taught so many things that you need that you really don't need. You need of this, you need of that, and you could do without them. And all these things, all they add to us is hearty because they're not free. Everything comes with a price. So everything you add, it costs, it costs in you. Things we could do without. We check what I'm saying. Hey boy, Blue, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. What's going on? Yes, things we can do without, they make it seem like we can't. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get in the groove and apply ourselves to everything. Oh, we need this, we need it. No, you know what I mean? And we could do without it. Everything comes with a cost. Everything. You know, I mean, the way we live in today, so true, the distraction is so powerful. Yes. Yeah, man, the distraction is for real, I'm telling you. The distraction is so real that it will take you away from what you know, from what you've been doing and was working for you for years upon years upon years, and take you to something else. That's how deadly, that's how deadly distraction is. So all I'm saying, man, is spend for compliments, no. Spend for you and your family and make feel happy knowing I spend this and we happy. Don't do it for people to tell you, oh, I like your house. Oh, I like your car. Oh, I like your jean pants you have on. Oh, I like your top. Don't do that. Because you're going to catch yourself keep buying just to hear the compliment. And all when you keep buying, what happening? You taking away from yourself and your family. Just to hear someone tell you they like what you have for a few days, and then you stuck with huge payment for 15 years, 10 years, 3 years, whatever long. Why? Because of compliment. Don't get caught up in that feel of at all. Do things for you and your family to feel happy about, not for compliments. I've seen it. I've seen it for myself. Working for people, I've seen it in many different areas. I've seen building a bathroom. Well, it was benefiting me, but I'm just saying it's messed up at the same time. Because I've seen where I might build a bathroom and the neighbor might come over and see the bathroom and like the bathroom. So to me, I'm getting another job there. But sometimes your bathroom was working pretty fine. I demo good working bathroom already. Perfectly working bathroom to build bathroom like one I now build. So yes, it benefit me because I get more work. But at the same time, you could have sit down on that money and do something else because your bathroom is working pretty fine. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes people, I work with people again. They have people that's come over by them, and their thing is to make sure everything perfect to impress people. You see what I'm saying? Impress yourself. When come on your house, impress you, not people. You live in there. If you feel that you got to go out and spend all your money to impress, that you got to, then you don't need to bring nobody by your house. You see what I'm saying? If it's going to take you your savings to decorate, come buy material, pay people to fix it, all that to impress people, well, you don't need to bring nobody to your house. Just stay you and your family and enjoy your space. Because I see time before people come by people party. I went house party before years ago, and the treatment I see they give people house, I will not have a house party for the treatment I see people give to people house. People drinking and the foot, you know, they lean up on the wall and the foot up on their wall, they spitting on the people floor. When I see that, I say, hell no. No house party. Because people don't respect. People don't respect what you have. So you spending to impress, it ain't worth it. But that's my opinion, guys. I can't tell you guys what to do. You know, this is just a discussion I'm having. I'm not trying to tell nobody not to bring nobody by them, but people don't respect your place. And I'm not having that. Where you, my walls that I paint, and you have your foot lean up and your foot on the wall and you spitting on the floor, that's very disrespectful. We're not looking at the cost before we buy. Let me see. I realize that we don't need a lot of things. That's true. We don't. We don't need a lot of things we buy. But sometimes we see, oh, 10% or 50% are big sale. We don't need it, but we're running down there and spend. No, guys. We got to do better than that. What kind of people is that? In the or well, you see what I seen that with my eyes. Yeah, it's a long time ago, but it put something in my mind where I say, hell no, ain't no house party by me, because I'm not having that. That's disrespect. I'm not having that. That's disrespect. So don't go out your way spending all you have to impress people. Do it to impress yourself. Do it for make you happy. Do it for make you feel comfortable in your own space, not to impress anyone. I'm not allowed. Definitely, right? Right? I'm not allowing anybody to come and bash up my place. Definitely. That's your space. You work hard on your space. You work hard to maintain your space. And I'm going to fix my space to bring you to drink and or spit and foot on the wall now. When I see that, I say there will be no house party by me. You got to respect people, please. So the honest truth is, make yourself comfortable. Do your house according to your likeness, not for people to come and see and give you, oh, yes, I like your house. No, you should like your house. Or you should like your car. Or you should like your jeans pants. And you should like the way your roof is designed. That's yours. You should like how that's yours. You ain't want nobody. You don't care about who like it. Once you like it, that's it. You see what I'm saying? When you think like that, you become free. You become free. You feel free. You could sleep at night because what you're doing is for you and your family and not to impress anyone out there. You see? I walked Exactly right. You got to get up and morning and you got to go and do what you got to do. Man, you got to protect your thing. Don't like. Listen to me, man. Let me see. You right, planter. I had party where the next day I'm finishing by silverware out in my land. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? People don't have no respect. So you going out and you spending all your money that you could have been putting up and trying to buy something else. You spending for impress people to for them to come over and drink and have fun and eat, and they don't respect your place. They have no respect for your place. That was the last one. And that was 12 years ago. Well, you learned something. At least you learn something. Yes, guys, that's, I'm saying that's all that's all I'm saying. It's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's my opinion. But don't put yourself in expense if you don't have to. Don't do that to yourself. Especially doing it for someone to say they like it. You see? Especially doing it to hear someone say it nice. Especially for someone to make you. No, you supposed to feel good about what you have. You, not someone else. They got to feel good about what they have. They don't need to tell me that what I have is nice. You go over by you and look and see what you have and say, yes, what I have is nice. You see what I'm saying? Not for compliment. I'm telling you. Plenty of us get out of control, spending out of control because of trying to impress and trying to look for compliment. Just do what you do for you. And once you do what you do for you and people and they love what you're doing, that's cool. But don't go out your way. Make you and your family feel comfortable. Once you and your family feel comfortable, it's just whatever you want to see. I'm not going overboard to impress nobody. Not doing it. Let me see. They go into your cup. You go. That's true. Exactly. Yeah, boy, blue. They will take your nice silverware and stuff too. You might have some nice spoon, some nice silver spoon, heavy duty silver spoon. And all right, you buy them. That when people come, they see you have an expensive silverware, nice plate, but people don't respect your thing. They're not respecting what you have. So my thing is impress yourself and your family. Don't try to impress people out there. If you do you and they like what you're doing, then cool. But going out the way to put yourself in debts for compliments don't make sense. Don't make sense. Don't make sense at all. But guys, that's my remember, this is my opinion. I'm not telling anyone not to invite people by the home. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, ain't no party going down in my place. That's all. Not for what I see with my two eyes. People, nice, clean wall, your shoes cock up on the people wall and you lean back. You know what I'm saying? You know, like how you put your foot on the wall, like you slam your foot on the wall, and they was doing that. I see people spitting, drinking and spitting on the people floor. And then when you gone, people got to clean because you gone now. No, impress yourself. If you feel like spending, it's because you want to spend, not to impress anyone. So what you guys think? What you guys think about the topic and the conversation tonight? You know, we like to do open discussion. We're not really here to discriminate and try to change people belief. Everyone have their own belief, their own opinion. So remember, we're not here to do that. They're not they're not bringing anything on the eat. They're not bringing anything on the eating balls. I still want to. You know what, boy blue? Man, doggy, you so boy blue, you so right with that one. You hit it on the daily star. You hit it on the daily, boy. In this day and stage in my life, I ain't got time to impress. I agree, too expensive. Well, listen to me. A lot of people is actually doing it, and a lot of people is seeing people with this stuff and want down to the bank the next opportunity they have just to put themselves in situation. A lot of people is doing it. That's why we have this topic tonight, because we kind of want to shed some light on this topic, because it's for real. I've seen it with my own eyes walking for people. I hear people complaining with their partner walking because one of them might see somebody with something and want it, and just like that, they want it too. And now it's a back and forth between the two of them because one don't want to do it and the other one feel that it need to be done. You see, I was building a deck. Many times I see it. I was building a deck, right? And the other people, they have a deck, right? They have their deck. But what happened is the people that I'm working for, deck is way bigger than theirs. It's like that deck make their deck look like a small box rest on there. And the people them call me and they say, I would like an extension. They want to extend their deck. And the man was saying, but we can't afford this right now. I mean, we could do it for the future. We could think about it for the future. Was in the pandemic in that time, and the woman kicked hell. Basically, the woman was telling him, well, when you wanted the room for the man, we call it again. Oh gosh, the man wanted his room with his game and his TV and all kind of stuff. She said, well, when you want that, I didn't complain. I let you have it. Now I want the deck. And you ain't gonna complain. So people do go through these situations. It's for real. It really for real. It's for real. You know what I'm saying? Coming with empty container to pack up before. I think it's worth doing it again. It has a lot of wisdom to gain from the information you share. Yes, 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 yes. Great up. Yes, yes. Yes, this is a serious topic. And yes, it happening. And topic like these can, couples. This topic is for a lot of couples to able to sit down and listen to this topic because it does be a lot of back and forth. Because sometimes one ain't want to do it and the other one want to do it. Sometimes one just feel like we need to keep this money in the bank, and the other one just feel like no, we need to get this thing. And most of the time, you don't really need it. Sometimes they don't really need it. They could do it out it. So these are good topic, and I'm gonna continue this kind of topic on this channel. I'm gonna definitely continue this kind of topic on this channel. I don't know how often, but yes, it's a beautiful topic that we really should be talking about. Yes, 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 yes. The woman say, when you wanted your man cave, you build your man cave. I didn't complain. Now I want the deck, and you ain't gonna complain. And she was dead serious. I ain't not build a deck for them. So sometimes it got to come with compromising and able to speak to each other. Speaking to each other, having conversation with your partner, sit down and able to have conversation means a lot. Because instead of you argue, sometimes by you, both of you having this conversation can make things calm down and come to the realization that we don't need it. You know what? Okay, I understand we don't need it. It's important to able to have these conversation. It's important. You must able to reason with each other. This is important. Well, for me, it's important. For me, it's important for two people together to able to reason and come to conclusion. Because if you can't, it's going to always be the argument and the one going this way arguing, and this is how it's going to be going. Having conversation going to bring both of you together. Sit down, let's reason. Let's see if this can work. This is really this is important. You have to able to communicate with your partner. If you cannot communicate with your partner, it is a problem. Things will always be upside down. You have to come to a realization where I can be wrong and you can be right. Or I can be right and you can be wrong. So it's important. Able to communicate will help. So for instance, like I now tell you about the deck and what's going on. If they could have really communicate with each other, he could have convinced her, listen me, watch, right now we live in. We don't ever use this deck that we have here. We live in. We really don't need the extension. No, maybe we could do this extension maybe another 2 3 years from now. Let's save some money. Let's start saving some money that we can do this addition. So instead of we take the money we have right now, let's leave it and let's put something aside now to build this deck. If you could able to hold this conversation with each other, it might come to an understanding, and she might say, you know what, you're right. You're right. Let's just leave it for now and we're gonna hold her. But don't just tell her Oh, we can't afford it. Oh, no. Reason. Reason. Because you hear what she said? When we was building the man cave, I didn't argue with you. No, I want the deck. So don't argue with me. It's just able to communicate. Very important in relationship. Communicate. And always understand that you could be wrong sometimes. You could never be always right. Always understand that other people have opinion. In your opinion alone. And this is why communication is important, because now both of you have communication and now you could sit down and have a conversation. Very important. Things work. You believe it or not, you will live a free and peaceful life if you're able to communicate with your partner. Have sit down and reason about things. I wonder if he had promised all that. No, no, no. Well, maybe he did, but she say she didn't argue about the deck, the man cave. And now she want her deck. And she did get her deck, I tell you that. Just to get his man cave. Oh, okay, I understand what he's saying. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was the case. I'm not sure. But she said she didn't argue. And now she want her, she decides she want the deck and she want her deck. And he ain't stopping she. So I benefit from the situation, but I don't know what take place, if they had us to borrow the money or if they had the money. I just don't know. But all I know, if you don't really need the deck at the moment, maybe you could have leave it for but that's their opinion. I'm just saying. Yes, it was to have the conversation and reason and come to a point. Yes, very important. If you don't have that, that could be a situation where you cannot reason with your partner, you cannot have a conversation. That's not healthy at all. To me, that's not healthy. You're supposed to be able to reason. And most people, why they cannot get reasoning from their partner is because they knows everything. Is because whatever they say goes. Is because they feel like what you say, what you got to say, ain't make any sense. So they ain't put in no airs to their partner. And it happen both ways. It happen men and women. But it's always, if you're able to compromise with each other, conversate with each other, maybe you might not have to spend to impress anyone. And that's what the topic is. Spending for compliments. If both of you able to sit down and have a conversation, maybe you could bring whoever, which one, could bring the other person to an understanding that we ain't got to do this now, but we're going to do it. And when we're doing it, we're doing this for ourselves. Don't worry about people out there and what they say. Let them worry about what they have. This is we. Let we worry about what we're doing here. We supposed to like what we're doing. We ain't got to hear from out there how beautiful it is. It's supposed to be beautiful to us. That's important, but that's my opinion. All right? So, guys, man, I got to thank you guys again for always coming through. I hope this topic means something to everyone who come and listen to this topic or who was here tonight. Thank you, Live from Scratch, to come up and share the information you share. I truly appreciate that. Thank you, Fifi Johnny, for coming through. Thank you, Boy Blue, for coming through. Thank you, Destiny Osis, for coming through. Listen me, I appreciate each and every one of you. But this topic is very important, very important, because people is actually going through this situation today. People is actually watching other people and go to the bank and put themselves in debts that they didn't need, or hanging with crowds that they don't need to. Because if I got to hang with a crowd and I got to be going to the bank and borrow money to keep up, then I don't need to hang with that crowd. So that's all I'm saying, guys. So as always, you guys have a blessed and wonderful weekend, and peace and love to each and every one of you. And this conversation have to continue. I don't know when. I'm gonna premiere it. Whenever I'm gonna do it. No, I'm gonna put it not premiere, schedule it. Whenever I got, but this gotta continue. All right. Hey, Texas lad, how you doing? Thank you for coming too. All right. Good night. Good night. I appreciate you coming too. All right. So thank you guys as always. I appreciate you guys. Peace, love, and blessing. I agree with that planter. I don't hang with no. All right. All right. All right, guys. Bless up. You guys take care of yourself. Believe in yourself and love yourself. See you guys pretty soon. All right. Good night. Thank you, guys.